Thrive Healthcare is an innovative healthcare provider that strives to offer the best patient experience to their members. Thrive turned to BrightPattern as they wanted to offer personalized, effortless service to their members and be innovative in how they engage with each member, using traditional channels like voice and email, but also new ways like bots, AI, and mobile. Let's take a look at how BrightPattern can help by looking at one of their members, Brett. Brett just returned from his vacation in Hawaii and noticed a rash on his arm that occurred after snorkeling. Brett logs into the Thrive website to book an appointment, but is first greeted by Thrive's health bot. Brett is ready to book an appointment, but sees Thrive Healthcare has chat, and their health bot is available. Brett decides to ask about his skin rash. The bot responds with some basic information on rashes, but it does not provide Brett with all the info he needs. He asks for more detail, and the bot responds, "I can help with basic inquiries, but for a question on skin rash, I suggest you talk to your personal nurse or doctor. Would you like me to connect you?" Brett responds, "Yes, please." Brett is connected to his personal doctor's nurse using BrightPattern's skill-based routing. The nurse in their omnichannel desktop sees Brett is authorized for care and has his complete membership history and previous interactions at their fingertips. The nurse sees the most recent interaction with their bot. They greet him personally and ask how they can help with the rash Brett is experiencing. The nurse then asks if video chat would be okay to turn on so they can see the rash. The chat conversation switches to video and the nurse sees the rash and says it appears to be a simple allergy, but suggests an appointment just to be sure. After the chat, Brett receives a quick, easy survey on the interaction. This allows CSAT to be measured on every interaction on every channel. The appointment is scheduled for Brett to come in later that week, and an SMS of the appointment is sent out confirming date and time. At the end of the interaction, the nurse notes Brett has been referred to a doctor for care as the patient's disposition. Brett receives a text and email reminding him of his appointment the next day. The day of the appointment, he decides to open up his Thrive Healthcare app, sees the appointment listed, and he even sees a Google map within the app to get him to the doctor's office on time. This ensures his appointment won't be missed, which would be costly to Thrive Healthcare. Brett arrives at his appointment. His doctor notes all is good, but recommends a special cream to help the rash and prescribes it for him. Brett later receives a text message that his prescription is ready. Brett leaves, and now that he's at the end of his current journey, Thrive Healthcare wants to know how his current member journey went. Shortly after the appointment, Brett receives a text message survey asking him to rate from 1 to 5 how happy he was with today's member experience. Brett rates it a 5. Had he rated it a 1 or below target SLAs, BrightPattern's real-time quality management would have routed the interaction to a member services specialist to call him immediately to better understand the reason for the low rating. Brett arrives at the pharmacy, and rather than waiting in the long line he is accustomed to, he is greeted personally by name and is asked if he is here to pick up his prescription. This was made possible with IoT technology with an iBeacon in the pharmacy. The iBeacon notes his cell phone and alerts the pharmacist that Brett is here. She greets him personally with his prescription in hand. Brett is surprised at the personalized member service from Thrive Healthcare. Later that night, Brett has a question on his prescription. Brett opens the Thrive Healthcare app and chats with the pharmacy specialist who has all his member history at their fingertips in their omnichannel desktop. The specialist is able to send, in the app, a document explaining how best to apply the cream. Brett ends his day happy with the great member experience he received from Thrive Healthcare. Later the next day, Brett receives an email notifying him of the copay amount for his visit and the charge for his prescription. This proactive communication ensures Brett is not surprised by the charges, which he receives in one single notification. This also ensures that Thrive Healthcare's unpaid accounts receivable are among the lowest in the industry. Later, had he forgotten to pay, the Thrive Healthcare collections team could have reached out to Brett with a friendly reminder by voice or text message. Later that night, the VP of Member Experience, Victoria, is able to see the quality care of their members with Thrive Healthcare quality management dashboards from BrightPattern. She can see CSAT based on surveys or sentiment from AI for every interaction on every channel. She can see CSAT and sentiment for each journey type, such as primary care visits, specialist visits, pharmacy, or physical therapy customer journeys. She can also see CSAT by each of Thrive Healthcare's locations and is able to review quality assurance statistics to see which member services representatives needed coaching this week and which coaching sessions were completed. Victoria sees that all members are happy and are getting the care they come to expect from Thrive Healthcare.